A good day to you, my fellow Trinidad and Tobagonians. As we know, it's a matter of days now before the general election for September the 7th, 2015. And I would want to say that, you know, what you have to bear in mind is the future of the country, the future, right? You know, the future of Trinidad and Tobago. Do you want to have another 5 years of this despicable joke for government? For the despicable and deplorable joke of a government, of a UNC government? Or do you want to have 5 years whereby you have a different government, that will, you know, work for the people, a P&M government with Dr. Keith Rowley as Prime Minister from September the 7th onwards, that will, you know, work for the people to the best of his ability, and as a party, a P&M party, to the best of their ability. I mean, I know that expectations will be very high. I mean, for a P&M victory, which we anticipate and which we're hoping and praying for, the expectations of rebuilding and repairing the damage that has been done by Kalma Pisays and her UNC mob for the past 5 years. I mean, you know, the rebuilding of the nation. I mean, you'll have to give the Keith Rowley, Dr. Keith Rowley and the P&M, you know, some time to restore our Twin Island, Trinidad and Tobago country to its former glory, and you know, and for the damage to be repaired. You know, I mean, the damage that's been done by the by the UNC over the past 5 years, right? You know, that is totally unacceptable, and it is totally unforgivable. And you know, really and truly, you know, we cannot afford to have another 5 years of living hell under that despicable joke for government called the UNC People's Partnership and what's not. I mean, you know, I mean, they're beyond a joke. They are really beyond a joke. I mean, you can see for yourselves, right? You know, that's their track record. you know, and you know, they got elected 5 years ago as public servants, you know, to be, you know, to be of service to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and they have failed miserably. And okay, despite PNM may have had their ups and downs over the past many years, at least, you know, the People's National Party has got, you know, a fairly reasonable track record of, you know, keeping Trinidad and Tobago, you know, in a stable position and so on. And, you know, now is a time that, you know, coming up to the election, you know, Trinidad and Tobago, you have to make that serious decision, because the decision, it will affect not only ourselves, the here and now, but the children in the future. Right? The children, you have to think about the future of the children. You know, is there going to be more crime, more suffering, and what's not, you know, of another 5 years of living hell under the joke for government, UNC government? No, I'm sure, you know, a great many of you would say hell no to that. So, you know, the day of decision is coming, a matter of days, and, you know, I'm wishing that the people of Trinidad and Tobago, we make the right decision as to who has the capability of, you know, managing the affairs of our country properly. And the decision, yes, it's entirely yours, the people, but that decision has to be made wisely. Right? It's a very serious decision, a serious decision. So that's got to be made very wisely. And looking at the whole scenario and the whole thing of the politics of Trinidad and Tobago, I mean, you know, the PNM is obviously of a more viable, you know, alternative to the UNC. It's a viable alternative. I mean, I'm telling you quite frankly that it's a viable alternative. And like I said before, I mean, you know, expectations will be high, and a lot of pressure is going to be placed on Dr. Keith Rowley and the PNM cabinet and so forth when they win the election. And, you know, we've got to, you know, we've got to, it should be, you know, all hands on. All the citizens got to play their part in restoring Trinidad and Tobago to its former glory, and, you know, make Trinidad and Tobago, you know, be the envy of the world once again, instead of it being the laughing stock of the world under the government, the UNC government of Kalma Pesat Bisesa. You know, we cannot afford to be the laughing stock of the world. Right? Let us have pride in ourselves as a people, as a nation. Let's have that pride in ourselves, and let's, you know, learn to, you know, love and respect each other, and let us promote the love and respect, the true love and respect for each other. And it is my firm belief that, you know, the PNM has that capability of bringing about such a way of thinking and way of life. But then, having said that, you know, it's not just a PNM party as a party. It's us the people. We have to make it happen. So on September the 7th, 2015, all hands on deck. Go out there and vote for Dr. Keith Rowley to be our Prime Minister, our real Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. That's my conclusion in this short message. Okay, God bless all of you, and let us pray God's speed that we have a government that can, fix up our country and really make it happen for the next 5 years and more. God bless all of you, and I pray God's speed, I pray hope. God help us. He help us and deliver us from the living hell that we've been suffering over the past 5 years. Okay, thank you all very much for listening, and may God bless all of you, and may God bless Trinidad and Tobago. Great is a PNM, great is a PNM, great is a PNM, and we shall and we will prevail. So help us God. Thank you, and God bless.
It's sweat, I come out to sweat, I wet, I'm sweating more than you. I come to wine and jam and I sure to catch it.